Hi everyone, my name is Shubham Ghosh. My roll number is MT20ACS536 and now I'm going to give a practical demonstration on switch based security, which includes VLAN and inter VLAN of the switches, port security both sticky and manual, and also STP spanning tree protocol. So let's first come to the concept of VLAN. So switch by default has a single broadcast domain. As the number of devices increases, the domain size of the broadcast also increases. So in order to have a better efficiency of the network, we need to limit the size of the network by creating VLANs. Also we need to see that the PCs or the endpoints should be placed in different subnets in order to make them more efficient. So what are the VLAN concepts? As we can see in the figure, the switch has 5 interfaces and 5 PCs are connected to those interfaces from fast Ethernet 0x1 to 0x5. So let's say PC wants to communicate with PC4. So the blue dots represents the communication channel. So PC1 does not know the address of PC4. So what PC1 will do is PC1 will start generating PDU frames. The frame received by switch S1 is shown as blue dotted arrows. The switch S1 broadcasts the frames throughout the rest of the active interfaces. These create huge bandwidth issues. So in order to recover this, we are using a concept of VLAN. So what is the concept of VLAN as explained here? So here we can see that sometimes it might happen that more than one switches are connected to each other and different computers are connected to switches, switch 1 and switch 2. So let's say PC1 in switch 1 tries to connect with PC5 of switch 2. It can of course connect, but the problem is it will create a huge number of broadcast message which will make the network very unstable. So we need to make sure that these PCs should be properly made into some VLAN, and then with some proper subnetting we should make sure that it should communicate to only those machines which it is required to. So here we are coming to the concept of VLAN, how it's created. So VLAN is a group of devices in the same broadcast domain or subnet. VLANs provides logical separation of subnets to have a better efficiency with network traffic between different groups of users. VLAN contains isolated broadcast domains where router is required to move the traffic between different VLANs. So this last point is for when we are trying to connect two inter VLANs with each other. So let's say here in example we have two departments, sales and marketing. So what we will do is we are going to separate the sales in VLAN 2 and marketing in VLAN 3. So we have already mentioned that the fast Ethernet 01 and fast Ethernet 02 will come to sales VLAN 2, and fast Ethernet 03 and fast Ethernet 04 will come to marketing. Here we have to note one point, that switch does not understand that does not know the IP address of any machine. So they only take care of the interfaces, and also PCs are not aware of any VLANs. So here there is a situation where we need to trunk two switches. Let's say in a building, in first floor we have one switch and in second floor we have switch 2. So how they are going to interact with each other? So what happens is in switch 1 there is a sales department in first floor and also there is a marketing department. So let's say sales department of first floor wants to connect with sales department of second floor. So we have to create a trunk link in that way, so that the sales department can connect with from first floor to second floor, and also vice versa. It should not connect to marketing department. So let's see a practical demonstration on this. So I have created one switch like this, and I have to create the IP address also. Let me give the IP address. So these are the sales and these are the marketing machines. Let me give the default gateway. Similarly for cells it will be 192.168.2.4, the gateway IP. So I have already mentioned this IP, so it's not taking. It will be 2.5. This is the default gateway. So I have done configuring the IPs and its default gateway. So now let's go to creating the VLAN. So once we open the switches here, we want to go to enable mode, show VLAN brief. So we can see here by default VLAN 1 is created. So we need to create VLAN 2. So first we need to go to conf t. Let's quickly create the VLANs. VLAN 3 name mkTG. So now we need to go, let's check how the VLAN looks now. So we can see 2 VLANs have been created. Let's quickly go to conf t and let's start giving the VLANs into the respective interfaces. Switch port access VLAN 2. So we are using switch port access because we need to make sure that it is under access mode, not on dynamic mode. That's the reason we are making it to access, because whenever we are trying to transferring data within the switch and PC, it should be access. Copy this. I'm going to make it VLAN 3. So now let me go here and check how it's configured. So as we can see that sales and marketing is come under VLANs 2 and 3, and also its corresponding ports or interface. Now I need to make sure that I do the trunk link. Now let's see whether the trunk link is enabled. Yeah, so we can see that the trunk link is on and encapsulation 802.1q trunking on port number FA05. Same thing we have to repeat it on the next switches. So let's go to this switch. Three, 4, I'm making it VLAN 3, and also the trunk port. Let me change it. So we have made it to trunk port also. Now let me go to VLAN brief. So as we can see, we have made it this one, sales and marketing, and to see the trunk interfaces, let me type this command. Yes, so the trunk port is of FA05. So now our this is created. So now what I will do is to make sure that this is working, I will try to ping PC0 to PC4. So PC0 has IP 192.2.2 and this IP is 2.4. So let's see, it should ping actually. To do different VLANs. Yes, it's pinging. And now if I try to ping 3.4, it should not ping. Yeah, so it's not pinging. So so I've come to this conclusion that the VLANs are working under two subnets. So I'm able to make the two VLANs of the two computers and the two switches. So now let's switch it off. So now I will move to my next practical, which is inter VLAN. So what happens is sometimes there is a requirement that we want to make sure that our PC should connect to another PC on the different domains or different VLANs. Let's say sales department PC wants to connect to marketing department PC. So how it will happen? So VLAN is a concept, inter VLAN is a concept where we want machines of different VLANs to interact with each other, like sales marketing, where sales machine wants to interact with the marketing machine. For this we need a layer 3 device to communicate with endpoints, since layer 2 devices are meant for broadcasting and cannot interact with the different subnets. So let's see how this works. So for that I have already taken one switch, and now I am going to connect the switch with the fast Ethernet 0 to fast Ethernet 6. So now what I will do is I will first go to, so all these steps have been performed. Insert or outer, create two gateway of two networks in a VLAN. So basically I need to create two gateway of the VLANs, which I already created, 2.1 and 3.1, and I will mention all the gateway IPs to all end devices, which I have already done, and also need to create two interfaces and put the gateway IP, since in router there is only one interface. So basically there is only one interface, but I want my data from different VLANs to communicate with the router. So for that we need the same one interface to be split it into two interfaces, and the reason, and also I need to make this one as a trunk. The reason because is trunk is a network, is a way in which we will be able to make two VLANs interact, like the same way we did it for here. The two PDU frames will be able to interact with the help of trunk only. So data of both the PCs from sales and marketing will flow through the trunk data only. That's the reason I need a trunk. If we make it not non-trunk, then the VLAN data will not flow inside it, because the switches will not understand it. So now let's go to the interface of the switch first. Switch off. Let me go to a switch here. Let me go to conf t int fa0/6. So now I will make it trunk, switch port mode trunk. Okay, it's now trunk. Now let me close this one. Now I will go to router. Enable mode conf t int fa0/0. So now I need to make sure that this router is up and running. So that's the reason I need to read the command no shut. Change to up. Okay, let me see. Yeah, it's up. Now what I need to do is I need to go there and create one interface fa0.1. This is the first interface for the second VLAN, and here I am giving the interface command, encapsulation command for VLAN 2, because encapsulation command needs to be given, otherwise it won't be able to communicate. And the gateway IP address I am providing. Okay, I have provided it. Next I will do it for the second interface, interface 0.0.2. Now it's up. Let me do the encapsulation. This will be 2, running for VLAN 3. One more thing I need to do is I need to give access to all computers at one go, because if I don't give switch port mode access, then the computers will not be able to interact with each other. So let me go to conf t, because this is the only way in which the ranges understand the interfaces. So I'm in the router, so I need to go to the switch. So in this way we will be able to give all the interfaces access in one go. Port mode access. Okay. So already in configuration mode, I will give the range, and then I will change it to access mode. Otherwise it will be dynamic mode and there might be some issue in. interacting between the machines. Okay, so I'm done it. So now what will happen is I will be able to interact inter VLAN. Let's say I will be able to interact with sales and marketing department. So marketing IP is 192.168.3.2 and this is 2.2. So let me ping. It should now ping. Yes, it's getting pinged. So our inter VLAN is working. So now let's move to the next topic, which is port security. So switch port security helps the administrator to have control over the host who will use the internal network of the organization and who will not. By implementing port security, the administrator can prevent outside host to access the network. So what happens, I'm giving an example. Let's say a client has come to my company and he is trying to attach his machine to any switch port which is available, but if we implement port security, then the client or any other external person will not be able to attach the port, his computer to that port, because we have already binded some MAC addresses to that port who will only be able to connect. And if some that is not connected, if some other PC is trying to connect, then what will happen, it will go down and it will violate and it will shut down, and it will help us in giving a port security kind of facilities. So it's he mentioned here that the switch port, remember MAC address of the host which is connected with Ethernet interface switch. The switch allows only those hosts whose MAC address are assigned in the CAM table of the switch. If any other host with a different MAC address tries to access the switch port, and the port security of the switch immediately disable that port. So high port security works. In this step, a PC is connected with an interfaces FS01 and the MAC address of PC is copied to the CAM table of the switch and the port is enabled. The CAM connected to the PC1 S1 is removed. So in this way the steps are mentioned. So what are the port security violation rule? One is the shutdown, restrict and protect. Shutdown, it will completely shut down. Restrict will allow the network administrator about the violation, and protect, it will allow only the packets from the secure ports. It will drop all the packets. So protect will not completely shut down the network, but it will only disable the packets from the new foreign network. So this is a little bit more useful in our current scenario or in the day-to-day activity. So I will be showing the example on shutdown. So there are two type of port security. One is sticky and manual. So sticky means we are going to give a number of it's automatic, like whatever MAC address is connected to that switch, it will automatically pick up. We don't need to manually give the MAC address. So sticky means currently the MAC address of machine which is assigned to the interface will only get connected and is automatic. No need to mention the MAC address. And manual means we need to manually put, the administrator manually put the MAC address of the switch into the CAM table. So let's see the practical demonstration of this. I will open so let me take one switch. So 24 interfaces switch I am taking, and let's say I take one PC. Let me connect it with one wire 0, and first Ethernet 01 interface I am connected to 0 interface. So sometimes the CAM table needs to order it. That's the reason it will take some time here. So what happens in blocking state, the learning state, there is sometimes it takes time. So it's in learning state for the port to come up. So now let me go to the config table, command line interface, enable. If we see any show port security, it will show that nothing is present. So we need to create it. So for that we need to go here. We need to go to global config mode, and then we need to go to the interface. Okay, we went there, and we need to change it to mode access. If we try to give the switch port security, port security, then it will not take. See, it's command rejected. For that we need to first give switch port mode access, Okay, then we need to give, then it will take switch port security. Okay, now switch port security has many things. So now I am going to give the sticky one, aging MAC address and all these things are there. So switch port MAC address, let me give the MAC address. Then if you give, then we can give it manually or sticky, we can give it manually or sticky. So let me give sticky first, which is automatic, and switch port maximum. So there are various commands, various options there. So this one means maximum time, if any more than one PC is only one PC can connect to this, not more than one. It is by default also. So switch port, now I am going to give switch port violation. The reason I am violate, because I want to make it shut down. Whenever it will, we have got many commands, protect, restrict or shut down. I will give if any switch is violating, a new switch is foreign PC is coming, I am going to simply shut down it. So now it's shut down. So now we can go to the enable mode, user enable mode. So now we can see show switch port, show port security interface. So we can see show port security interface FA0/1. So we can see that violation mode is shut down, port security is enabled. So now our port security is enabled. Now let me go to show port security. So here we will see that the port security, you can see that security violation shut down, security violation count is 0, current address is maximum 0. So now I can also see the show security address. Somehow the address is not coming. So in this way the address will come if we go to the let me give the commands once again. Now I will assign one IP. Any IP I can assign. So now the address has come up 0016306. This is the MAC address of this one. So now what I will do is I will take one another PC. I will connect this PC here basically. So now it is trying to up. So now I will give the IP address. Let's say INTU168.5.4. So let's say this is a client machine who is trying to connect. Let's see how it happens. So now if you see, the line is up down. So now what happened is, if you go here, so violation is 1. So now let's see, I need to make sure that, let's remove this one. So still it will be down. So what we need to do, we need to go here, need to go to config mode, then we need to go to 0 by 1, then we need to shut it down, forcefully shut it down, then shut up, no shut. So now it's up. So now let's do one thing, let's give this manually. So for that, it's the same process only. We need to go to interface FA 0 by 1, we need to give the switch port MAC address manually. So the address will be 001 001 dot 60067628. Actually, since it's a duplicate already there, so I need to assign one more computer here. So you can give the MAC address like this, port. It has got a new MAC address, hopefully. Triple 0C89. D6. Basically, since this has manual already, one I have already put, so it has reached the maximum limit. So in this way, same thing will happen. We will be able to do the same steps, and we will be able to connect it, the new machine. So now what I will do is, I will show one command which will help to remove the port security. So we will go to, we will write the command switch no port security. No switch port security. So now if we go to see, there is no port security. So I am done with my practical of port security. Now let me go to the next one, which is spanning tree. So spanning tree uses a spanning tree algorithm to create a topology. So all switches in a network elect a root switch, and all working interfaces on the root switch are placed forwarding state. So all other switches are called non-root switches. So what happens is basically spanning tree is a protocol which is created by the switches in order to make sure that two switches, or there is a no loop between two switches, between three switches. What happens is we sometimes may, in order to create one no failure area, we create new switches, new connection. So that's the reason we get the issue of spanning tree. So let's say here, if we go here, so this is an example of spanning tree protocol which is running here. So what happens is it will elect this root as a spanning tree, and what happens is so we, in order to create a no point failure, we have created these interfaces. So that's the reason we create a spanning tree protocol. So spanning tree protocol has I can say that they elect a root who wins the election. No port will be in the blocking state, all will be in forwarding state for that root. Minimum cost to reach that root will be selected. Root port is the port used by the switch to reach the switch. DP that port where all traffic will be forwarded, and superior BPDU, all traffic will move to DPDU. All port connected PC is DPDU. So in this way the spanning tree works. So here you can see this is the root port. So I will go here and I will just show one thing. So I will go to enable show spanning tree. So we can see that this is the root port, root ID, and this is this VLAN 01, forward and 19, and this is that, and this one is the blocking port. So in this way I am coming to my end of my presentation. Thank you.